Alright, we're going to talk a little bit tonight about what it is like to have a parent who has seizures. Hang on, let me get rid of this. Bloop. Okay. Alright. So, I have seizures. I've had seizures since like 7th or 8th grade. I am 37 now. So I've had seizures for quite a few years. So I have a lot of experience with that. My girls have seen me have seizures and have experienced that, and so I wanted to have them come on and talk about what that is like. Whose is that? Okay. The last seizure that I had, they did not witness. However, the one before that, I think 3 of them saw. So, this is Brinkley here, and I'm going to let her go ahead and talk about at least what it's like to see me have a seizure. Like what that was, because when I had that, we were at our church, and so we kind of tell like what happened with that, and kind of what that felt like.
It was a while, like a few years ago, so it's kind of hard to remember it, but like I was like scared and like I didn't know what was going on. Like I thought he had like hit his head or something, because like he was running at the wall to get like a foam dodgeball, and I thought he had like hit his head or like and then fell, and like so we ended up going home with our friends. And like I remember just being really scared and confused on what was going on.
And then, I mean, once you found out that that I had a seizure, kind of how did that make you feel?
Like I was still a little confused, and like, but like it kind of made me feel like not as scared, but I wasn't as scared after I was told what had happened and stuff, but like I was still a little bit confused just because I wasn't very old.
Right. So, and then the next one after that I had, you guys didn't see it, but you guys heard about it, and hey Jeff, and you guys were you guys were a little bit older, because that was just about 2.5 years ago. So what was it like with that one? Because that one was a whole different thing where I ended up in the hospital and stuff.
Like we went like it was our last day of school before winter break. December 16th, 2021. And like the morning we were just having fun and like putting bows in my dad's hair. Then we went to school. Me and my older sister both had ballet class after that, and like so we went to that, and it was weird because our grandpa picked us up, and then he took us over to our friend's house where our mom was, and our mom told me and my older sister while we were sitting on the stairs of our friend's house, like that she told us that that our dad had fell, that he was in the hospital, and like I remember just being like really scared, like I don't like he might not live, and like just like I had all these thoughts running through my head, and like, it was really scary to me.
So when that happened, you were, let's see, you would have been what?
I think 3rd grade.
years old
Yeah.
then. So old enough to understand at least somewhat as far as what was going on, but still not old enough for everything. Um, so, and then Brielle would have been, what? You would have been
And like
5.
kindergarten.
No, you would have been 5. You would have been, 'cause you are 7 now, you would have been 4 then when that happened.
So I would be like 1 year before I went into kindergarten.
So yeah, you would have been,
No, I would be in kindergarten.
you would have been 4 when that happened. So what was that? What was that like for you? Do you remember? Hey Tanya.
So like I was at my grandma's house, and then my mom just called my grandma. I had zero clue what was going on. I heard my mom crying over the phone, and I saw my grandma rushing to get stuff so that she could get there, get to the hospital. And I had zero clue what was going on. I was scared myself because didn't know what was going on, and I heard crying.
And then what about when you found out that Daddy was Daddy was in the hospital, and like when you found out more about it, what was that?
I don't really remember that.
Okay, that's fine. So then, I mean, when I fell, that was December 16th, 2021. Thanks, Tanya. I think. Hey, Tash. And so then, that was their last day of school.
Before winter break.
Before winter break, yeah. And so I was in the hospital then for a month. Yeah, if you have a question, please feel free to ask a question. You can ask me a question, you can ask the girls a question. And so then I was in the hospital for a month, and I missed, they had a dance recital that was just a few days later, so I was in the hospital for that. I didn't get to go to that. I was in the hospital for Christmas, and I was in the hospital for my birthday, which is December 30th. That was my 35th birthday I spent in the hospital. And I was in the hospital for New Year's. And then Brielle's birthday is January 16th, and I got out of the hospital 2 days before her birthday. So I was just barely out of the hospital for her birthday. So, no, we're not gonna do a talent show, I don't think, tonight. So that's maybe another night. Oh, Megan, I'm sorry. So it was a big time, and then there was still a lot of restrictions from COVID and everything at that point. So during that time, I was able to see the girls. I think it was like 3 or 4 times, and that was it was a rough time to see them only like 4 times. I think it was either 3 or 4 times I saw them during that time. So, yeah, what do you have?
And during Christmas and his birthday, we got to go visit him in the hospital.
Yep. Yeah. And they made a special exception for the girls to be able to come up because they actually tightened their restrictions while I was in there, and made it so that the girls wouldn't have been able to come up there. But because of it being Christmas, they actually made an exception, and the girls were able to come up there. And definitely, yes, Megan, like being in that kind of a situation, like, and being a parent, all you want to do is be with your kids. Like, you want your kids there, and like you want to be able to spend time with them, and you can't. So
I'm glad we got to visit him.
too.
Yes. Yeah. Got someone from Belgium in here. Good morning, Belgium. It is 9:42 at night here. So, hey JP. 9:45. So I was looking at a different clock that's got the wrong time on it. So, yes, we are missing a few kids who are not interested in doing this. So, and that's fine. And I do not force them to do this. They wanted to do it. So, another thing, like with having seizures, I do drive, but I've been seizure free for quite a while. Um, so, it is like it's somewhat of a scary thing, kind of. Still, they are very random. Um, and so I kind of work with that, and two of my girls are able to ride in the front seat. Brinkley is one of them. And so I'll let her tell you what I've done with them to be able to make it so that it's as safe as possible for if I should have a seizure while I'm driving.
Like he told us like how to like put the car in like neutral, and like then like he told us to just like take the steering wheel and kind of just like drive off into like the grass or into the guardrail or something like that, and then call 911. So like just in case, like, but like he's been seizure free for a while, but just in case he does have a seizure because like they just come randomly. He's told us what to do, but like he told us to first get the car off the road.
So I drive a minivan, which is super cool, and I mean it's amazing. But the shifter is actually kind of in the middle, where from the passenger seat they could reach it. So I've told them, I said, hey, just hit that shifter, and it'll knock it into neutral. Thanks, Amber. And once it's in neutral, it doesn't matter if I am really tense from having a seizure, it's not going to speed up at all. And then I said, just grab that steering wheel and just coast it over to the side. And if we hit a guardrail, if we hit something else on the way, it's still going to be better than if we go over into like oncoming traffic or something like that. Just hang on to the steering wheel, and we'll coast to a stop eventually. And at that point, then put it in park, and do whatever you need to do. And they all can access my phone to make phone calls from that too. So, you want to tell them about my phone?
Yeah, can I show?
You can't because my phone is right there. So,
So like, even though we can't unlock his phone, there's like this way that we can, call. So like we like gently swipe over to the side on his phone,
okay.
and then then there's like call buttons, and we like call 911, and then we call a friend. Like there's this friend that's really close to us, and then our dad told us to call him, and then we would call our mom. And my sisters, they have watches, so they would call our grandma and grandpa, or just one.
That's so. Oh, Megan, I like where I'm at right now. I'm not. I've been. It's been 2.5 years, but I remember like the waiting games of going back and forth, and like you would get. I would get to a point where I would just be able to get my license and then have a seizure, or get like close to that and then have a seizure, and it's like it would get so frustrating. And it. So I feel for you. At that point, I did not have kids when it was like when I was having them more regularly. But it is when you're having them like that, it's very frustrating and it's so hard. So I can't imagine in your situation, Megan, where you've got kids, and then you're able to drive, and then you get that taken away. So that's hard. Um, but yeah, so I obviously I can't prevent everything that would happen, but I've tried to work with my girls to teach them ways to be able to make it as safe as possible. And then if something does happen, obviously, and I made a video about this recently about people being able to add add the emergency call onto their phone, because I think everybody should do that, whether you have any kind of a medical issue or not. I think that's important for everyone, and because you never know what's going to happen. And so that's, I think, is important for everybody to do. And so I made a video about that recently, and it shows exactly how to do it. And I'm so glad that my girls are able to do that and take my phone while it's locked, and they can they can't unlock it, but they can get into it, and they can call 911. They can call their mom, and they can call a friend who lives really close to us. And then that also has all of my medical information on there. It says that I have seizures, I have epilepsy, and it says that it says what medications I take and everything like that, at what dose. So after they call 911, all they have to do is show the paramedics that. If the paramedics get there before someone else, and they have all that information right there, if I'm not awake yet or something. So yeah, Megan, I would say definitely, if you've as your girls are old enough, definitely that's something you want to teach them. And until then, it's still something that you would want to have on your phone, so that anybody who's responding would be able to have that ability to see that information without ever unlocking your phone, if something were to happen to you. Hey Moni, thanks for coming in. Are there any questions that you guys have for the girls? Or for me, either one, because it's a little bit different situation, being like a minor with a parent who has seizures, who has the potential to have seizures at any time. And I don't know if you guys had any questions, anything that you guys were interested in knowing from the girls, or from me. And if you ask a question, I'm sure they would be happy to answer it.
Or try to answer
Or try to answer it. Yeah, we'll do our best. Or we'll just sit here and have fun. Did you want to say anything, Mace, now that you're here?
No.
No? You just wanted to sit. You just wanted to jump in. You just wanted to jump in and say hi. Okay, and that's fine. If no one has any questions or anything, that's fine. Thanks, Tash. I think so. You just like to play Hangman, Maze? JP said you like to play Hangman.
JP's the one we met.
JP is the one we met, yep.
On our way to Tennessee.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys don't have any questions or anything, this is not going to be a really long live. I just wanted to get in here for a little while with my girls and let them Oh, do the girls get scared when you have a seizure, or how do they handle the situation?
Well, I think there's only been like one time that we've actually been there, and like, yes, like I personally was very scared and like confused because I was so young and I didn't know what was going on.
I do get scared. Like the time I was at my grandma's house, I was terrified. I had zero clue what was going on.
So yeah, I think as far as them seeing me have a seizure, they've only seen me have one. Um,
I haven't seen you have any.
yeah, Brielle has not seen me have
I
any.
haven't.
Maisie, I don't think
I don't
has
think
seen
so.
me have
No,
any
I think
either.
it was just me and Abby.
So my older two are the only ones that have seen me have a seizure. They've seen me have. They've seen my videos, I think, online. So they know what it would look like if I had one. But as far as having one in person, it's a whole different thing. Once
Yeah.
you, I mean, you can watch it 100 times online, and then when you see it in person, it's a whole different thing. There's a question for you guys.
Are you guys pretty proud of your dad?
Definitely.
He's a great sport teller.
Definitely
Yeah,
super proud
definitely.
of him. Because like even though he has seizures, he still supports us in all the ways that he can. And speaking of that, like we got to have like a Sprite float thing tonight, and like he
Yeah,
just like
he
goes
is a-
out of his way
he
to
is a
just make
great
us
dad.
happy.
Alright, is there any other questions that I missed? Or anything else anybody wants to ask before we get off? Because someone's tired.
I'm also tired.
I don't want to have anybody falling asleep on live.
Just the neighbors fall asleep.
Alright, if there's nothing else, we're going to go ahead and hop off. But I do appreciate you guys coming in and listening. It means a lot to me that you guys take time to listen to this. This is it's a big topic for me, and then to have my girls coming with me it's really special for me. So